All glory to the HYPNOTOAD.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with one of my favorite commanders, the Gitrog monster. The Gitrog monster cares about lands being put into your graveyard because whenever one or more is, you draw a card. And that could be a land being sacrificed, it could be a land being milled, it could be any sort of thing that puts a land into the graveyard. You could even discard a land to draw a card with the Gitrog monster. He doesn't care as long as you are putting lands in the graveyard, you're having a good time. And recently in Magic the Gathering Arena, we've gotten new ways to get lands back from the graveyard. Lumra, Bellow of the Woods, and Aftermath Analyst for a huge boost in bringing back stuff from your graveyard, self-milling, and doing generally good Gitrog things. This is a Golgari lands deck, meaning that it's running a lot of ways to bring lands back from the graveyard, landfall effects, and of course a couple payoffs for all those ramps we're doing, like, you know, Emrakul. And since we're milling, we may as well reanimate things with Virtue of Persistence and reanimate, because it's good. In this deck, we have a lot of turn 1, turn 2 ramp, especially land-based ramp. I'm playing cards like Arboreal Grazer over cards like Llanowar Mystic because I need lands in play, because those lands are going to get sacrificed, either to Gitrog's own ability or to cards like Harrow, Ancient Restoration, or the Spring Bloom Druid. And if I want more lands to come in untapped, Spelunking is huge, because normally when you're bringing things back into play or just bringing out more lands as part of an ability, they come in tapped, but not with Spelunking. This deck is also taking advantage of the fact that we are in Golgari colors, which means I'm running a lot of things that destroy target non-land permanent, or exile target non-land permanent. Ferrous Sunder always comes to mind for that one. It's great because it's, you know, instant speed. And for 2 mana, sure, I'll get rid of the 1 ring. That sounds great. If we're making a ton of tokens with our landfall, as we usually are with the Springheart Nantuko and our Scoot Swarm, we can also win without ever attacking our opponent. Because we have so many ways to have a landfall make mana ability in this deck, we can use all of those lands, all of those tokens to make enough mana to destroy all of them all at the same time and win on the same turn with a Meatok Massacre. This deck is, again, one of my absolute favorites, which is why I try to feature it in a video every couple months. So let's take it into the queue and get hopping. And then an outro. Unload the toad. Uninhibit the ribbit. I've done that one for the intro before. Bench the Kench. Gideon of the Trials. Typically, this is a prison or a stacks deck. Gideon of the Trials gets used with a card like Solemnity and 9 Lives to completely lock your opponent out of the game. I accept this. I understand this, and it doesn't make me happy, but like, sure. They'll use this 0 ability, make Gideon indestructible somehow, make him untouchable, and yeah, that's what Gideon does. Let's go ahead and start getting our graveyard full of dirt so we can bring out some dirt. Stone of Irk. Wait, what do you do? Exile my graveyard? But I need that for stuff. I need that for bringing lands back from it. Oh, a Paladin class makes it more expensive to do things on their turn. And Thematic Compass. Okay, that's fine. Let's get our mana rolling while I can. See what we get from Nissa. I got Lumra, so I'm going to use the Lumra over the Aftermath Analyst. We mill, we mill, we mill, and all the lands come back into play. We're going to trigger a couple landfalls off this bad boy. Black, black, green, green, and, yeah, I think we play Shoulder and swing in. And they don't have a board wipe in hand. So I guess we're golden. GG, Gideon. The Gitrog monster. Hey, I know that guy. He's sitting right here in my command zone. I don't have any good ramp here. We have a little bit of removal, and I don't feel like going for a mulligan again, so sure, I'll keep this. If they play any early game ramp that's not land-based, we can destroy it. I have also some creature planeswalker destruction, and then on turn 4, we have access to this. They're saying, hey, How you doing, fellow frog? Are you poggin' and froggin'? I love Gitrog Monster. Turn 2. Pass. And are gonna fetch this open. I imagine getting the Surveil land? Arboreal Crazer. That'd be good to have on turn 1. Not so useful now. Into the north, they got land-based ramp, and now they have more lands than me. They're winning the race. Oh, but wait, I top-decked something that lets me sacrifice a land and get 2 more. Let's go. It's dirt time. We're gonna put the dirt on them. Is it time for them to sacrifice a land? A harrow, maybe? Ah, ramen up excavator so they can keep replaying this one fetch land over and over and over and over. I can play Gitrog this turn. I don't think this is the turn for it. I'm gonna go for Oracle. Was hoping to find a land on top, didn't, and we kill the Round 'em Up Excavator so they can't keep replaying that fetch land, because otherwise next turn, that Gitrog's gonna go crazy. Swinging with the Spring Bloom. I guess I could have shuffled the top of my deck with this. It's fine. Wanted to play one in the hand. Oh yeah, look, there was a land on top after. I haven't switched the snowlands in this deck for my fancy snowlands. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll do that after this game. I'm writing it down. I'm writing a reminder. Putting in a big box. Swap lands. Pretty. Ooh, they scootin'. Scootin' and swarmin'. Swarmin' and scootin'. Scootin' and swarmin' and scootin'. Landfall gets them bugabugs until it gets them bugabugs that make more bugabugs. We do have a Massacre Worm in this deck, so if problem is too many bugs, then solution is extermination. We also could just, like, Bitter Triumph one right now. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? I'm gonna discard this forest so I can draw. No more bugs to worry about. Ooh, Green Warden lets me start replaying from the graveyard. That'd be good. Swinging with my Oracle. 2 entire damage. We're definitely winning the lands race here. And this will double up any landfalls if I get my bugs. Plugging and bugging. Looking at their graveyard. Maybe they have reanimation? Oh, or it's just frog time. Frog in 1 land. Alright, speaking of land, there's one. Reach the multiverse. So this will probably get them a card drawn, because I imagine their top 10 cards will have some sort of a, Miller right there. I'm the Scoot Swarm deck now. It's me. I am the one who scoots and swarms. I think we'll start bugging our opponent. Oh, mine's an insect Phyrexian. I help the opponent. Yeah, I put stuff in their graveyard. So, like, now if they played Reclamation or something that brings all these back, they would get lots and lots of lands. Hey, wait a minute. Is this my Gitrog deck? It certainly could be. Sometimes you see a tell in somebody's deck that says, yeah, I think it's my deck. It's not the version of my deck I'm playing right now. It's the version of the deck I was playing 2 days ago because I just added a couple cards and just took out a couple cards. So that was their reclamation effect. They've brought back all the lands from the graveyard. They caught up in the lands race. My bog! But you could. My bog. My heart. Broken. My bog. Ever bejuked. Tragic. We gotta shuffle around our cards a little bit. Ah, only a few lands left in my deck, it would seem. So if they are running my version of the deck, that means that they do have a Massacre Worm in there. Which would be bad for me at this exact moment. A little. Oh, Arena's not gonna crash. Having 250 bugs, it's the limit. But it's also like... the game's pretty resilient about it. Alright, a land goes in my graveyard. We draw a card. We drew a Shia, which we knew was on top. Taking a look at creatures in their graveyard, because I do have Reanimate here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fetches out, so they can draw a lot of cards here to try and find what they want. They could also Meat Hook Massacre, which, because it's the silly nerfed version, would not get rid of everything here. But, like, they could kill everything but Lumra, and then swing in with Lumra. That could be pretty good. I should also look at what's in their graveyard. Ooh, doubles. Single target removal, but no mass removal. Other than, I guess, Bojuka Bog. And just Restoration is going to get them 6 lands, 3 of which will be untapped. Thanks, Pock! You think they're looking for Cratered Hoof? So if it is my deck, there is no Cratered Hoof in it. There is Worm, though. And Worm would be... oh, Worm. Augur of Autumn will let them play creatures and lands from the top of their deck. Worm would be me very dead. Kami Bamboo Groves, that's just putting an extra land in. But this is their last turn. Tapped land. Oracle of Moldiah. They no longer have enough mana to play the Worm. Unless they, like, got a landfall thing here. So there's Meat Hook. And a Meat Hook for 1. Again, you can get rid of these. But that's... yeah, there's no scroll bar here. None of you tap for mana. That's just green. They can't Meat Hook for 1. Oh, they still have 1 land left to play? But do you have another? If they had fetched black off one of these, but these were both only able to get forest, and I'm pretty sure their Golgari lands are all already in play. Yeah, so like there's Overgrown Tomb. Oh, they could still play another land this turn. Hold up. Yeah, because they have an extra off this, an extra off this. They're saying, good game. They may have found the meaty hook, but there was no massacre to be had. Land goes in the graveyard, they draw the card that's on top, it doesn't do anything. They can make me sacrifice one thing with the Edict. Then also, by the way, Maelstrom Pulse would have been able to get rid of all the Scooty Bugs. They're Scoodled McBugs. Hello. I will sacrifice a land. And I will try to be courteous and just go directly into attacks. And I'll attack in with 108 Scooted Swarms. Good game, opponent. Bug, 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 bug. Negative 96. A fine amount of damage. GG, fellow frog. Soul of Windgrace. Soul of Windgrace, just like us, is about putting lands into the graveyard, but they're about bringing them back using Soul of Windgrace. I have a really cool start here. This is one of those dream hands, because we have a turn 1 piece of ramp into a second turn 1 piece of ramp. Flare of Cultivation with either a Kami or the Arboreal Grazer is the ideal when it comes to double ramp on turn 1. Look at that, 3 lands. We love having 3 lands here. Well, I love having 3 lands. I'm gonna ramp again into the north, grabbing my Snow Duel, and then a Llanowar Elf. And next turn, I could throw down the Gitrog monster. Still have 1 mana left over. Into the north, they can also grab a Snow Duel for just a single colored land. Behold, a frog! Sacrificing this Windswept Heath. And they're leaving, because that was way too fast of a start. Completely understandable. Old Stickfingers. There's 2 types of Old Stickfinger deck. The sort that has 1 creature in the deck, and the sort that has lots of creatures in their deck to reanimate. Some of these are very graveyardy, and some of them are just one-trick ponies that are just doing one thing and hoping that it works. I'm going to mulligan here to look for some earlier ramp, something to do on turn 2. I found 2 potential turn 2s here. Yeah, we'll see. Old Stickfingers, because he can just put a creature into your graveyard. If they only have 1 creature in a deck, they can guarantee something and then set up to reanimate it. We will find out pretty quickly, though, based on what else they play. The rest of the deck, by the way, can be lots of removal. Typically, they're running like Cultivator Colossus as their 1 creature, which is a little fragile, but because they have multiple creature lands, they have like an alternate way to win if that thing's gone. Maybe the strat has changed, though. Alright, Emergent Sequence. It's ramp, but notably, it's not a creature. Lotus Cobra, the nice little land here. That also protects them against, like, edicts on something else that they play. I'll still edict that land. Boop. And we bop it. Yeah, reanimation typically starts at 1 mana for literal reanimate, but it's a bit pricier for everything else. There's a couple, like, 2 mana persist. 3 mana's got some. Okay, so they did not throw down Old Stickfingers there, which makes me feel like, yeah, I think we got some good options here. Start frogging. Takanuma. Could potentially put more and more and more cards into the graveyard. Ooh, a land. Oracle of Moldiah is the only creature in the grave. Go to combat, swing in with both. Grabbing our fetch. Or a fetch. I don't really feel like I need to draw this turn. So if they go to kill Gitrog monster, I'll crack this open, but otherwise, I think we're fine. Oh, Stickly for X equals 2! Ah, a pair of Emeralds. Very cool. Sacrifice... Forest. Oracle of Moldiah lets me play even more lands. I'm gonna shuffle since I can play lands off the top. Shy, you don't count here. Shuffle up again. Kill Old Stickfingers in case they have one of the things that sacrifices to bring cards back. Lands are fallen. Right into Ashaya's lap. And I can sacrifice 2 lands. This and this. And just Restoration to sacrifice another land and get 1, 2, 3 more. And I'm just about out of basics in my deck, so I need to stop doing this. We swing in, mill a little. We did mill a land, which means that we can bring cards from the top of our deck into hand. It's a land. Doesn't do anything. Got them down to 3. Pretty close. And they concede. 2 Emeralds. Like, even if you cast them, casting this one would steal all the creatures. Casting the other one would just take over 1 turn. GG. Mila, Crafty Companion. This Mila is less about the front side and more about the back side. You have this Lukka here, who's still pretty dang good. Does some cool blinky stuff, or reanimation stuff, and then has this, was it Terror of the Peaks as an ultimate ability. It could also be they play Mila, and then this is just like tons and tons of planeswalkers. Be a little weird, but I could definitely see it happening. I wonder... I want to keep this with a turn 2 birds. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. I like this hand. It's got 2 lands I can put directly into the graveyard. We've got some landfall with Nissa. An Analyst to hopefully bring those lands I'm putting into the graveyard back. So let's Surveil. If it's a land, I'll throw it in the trash. A land, throw it in the trash. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Lands in the graveyard. Which, hopefully I can bring them back with the Aftermath Analyst, but if they kill this first, I totally understand. Orb! Ooh. Yeah, we'll be able to tell pretty quickly, I think, if this is just Boros Super Friends. 2 in the top. Lose a life, what is it? Lotzolotli. So I think they are putting stuff into the graveyard to reanimate with the Lukka ability. This is just like a good value card. But Lotzolotli is also a like put stuff into graveyard card. teleportation circle to blink something? I don't know what's going on. I will lose life because it's fun. What do we got? Ooh, 13. Nice. Let's get all those lands in the graveyard where they belong. We get ourselves an elf or elemental. Crack open the analyst. Get lots more lands. Some of this, some of that, some of this, some of that. One of these, wanna use? Wanna use? 2 more lands, yes please. I'll go with a fetch that doesn't hurt in a creature land. Play Birds of Paradise. And then another card that starts putting more lands in the graveyard. Swing for 3! I don't think I can keep milling, though. What a shame. Yeah, those are cool enter the battlefield effects. Fightful Banditry for X equals 3 will not kill the prime time, but it will kill everything else. Fine, you can draw. How much damage do I have? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Not lethal off of Lair of the Hydra. So sad, too bad. Let's see what I can draw. Fetches. I can grab one of the auto fetches off this, too. Oh, Casualties of War. I think I'll probably play that this turn. An artifact, an enchantment, and a land. Artifact, enchantment, and land. And we win! Didn't really get to see much of their strategy, but it seemed like it was a reanimatey blinky thing. Cool, GG. Tiamat. Tiamat is a 5-color dragons commander. When she enters, you put tons of dragons into your hand, really just fill it up, and then you can use those dragons to do Dragon Ace stuff. Some dragons decks, by the way, they're less about the dragons and dragon typal, and more about just kind of like comboing into a reanimation thing with like Terror to the Peaks. It does depend a bit. But at the start, you'll be able to tell pretty quickly, is this person all about those dragons, or just getting a couple very specific dragons off of Tiamat? Yeah, dragon-y stuff. If they're playing, like, the cards that are, like, mention dragons by name and give you additional bonuses for dragons. That's usually how you can tell. So I could eat their ramp here, or I could, like, Kami of Bamboo Groves into Lotus Field, but I don't really like that with having the Harrow in hand. So I'll just Abrupt Decay. No more Hobbits. Carry the Teed? The land. Okay. Considering reanimating tiny hobbits. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna bring out the Kami of Bamboo Groves and sacrificing these 2 lands. And now have enough mana from a frog. Sort of. Enough. Ooh, that's even more mana. Yeah, so far they're ramping. And anticipating? What are you anticipating? blot out would just exile one of those. I'm gonna turn one of my lands into a slightly more different land. Well, they're a pair of lands. Well, I hope that's not a miscast or something. That would be real rough, because I sacrificed the land as part of the cost. I don't think it is. I don't think they'd be running that. Augur of Autumn, so we can play lands off the top, and that's not a land! They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. One more and it's Tiamat time! Adult Gold Dragon! Okay, if they're running Adult Gold Dragon, I think they're just a dragon stack. Which, heck yeah. Unfortunately, Auto Tapper was like, would you rather have 4 mana or 2 mana up? I guess they chose 2 mana. That's not a land on top! Stop not being lands! Shia, come be dummy thick. Eeg. These are now all lands. Not a land! Oh, but wait! Maybe they did want this up so they could get white mana instead of just green mana. Boop. I can play lands from the graveyard. Tiamat time! And then some. Making sure you tap that Fanatic Aronis. Getting out the goods. Or wait. There's another card in hand. Nope. They're going for Tiamat. There is a mono green dragon. But it costs 1 more. I was gonna say it's Kura. It costs 1 more than this, though. Nissa. Lands are falling. The frog? You sure did not use my Hobbit mana. That's fine. I'll blot out Tiamat. I may as well get in 2 damage. So the critters they got, though, like, they have a bunch of hasty dragons, and Terror of the Peaks can deal very immediate dragon damage. So I'm trying to see how much damage they have here. If they start with Terror of the Peaks, and then play... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they could do Inferno with the Star Mounts, which would be 6 damage plus 4, plus another 6. Which I think that would have been lethal, but maybe I miscounted how much mana there was. Here's Kura. Yeah, they do have red, red, and then red, red. And they did have enough red. Might have to rely an awful lot on Shouldered here to keep me up. I'll drop the Snow-Covered Forest. The Snorist. Only have 1 land in the graveyard. Sorry, Lumra, Bella of the Woods. Taking the land from my hand. Throwing it into Lumra. She does have reach, but she can only block 1 thing. They have 3 mana with this treasure. Landfalls are happening. If anything here that will get me another landfall. There is. This. And this does have reach, so it gives me another potential block. Shelter's being washed away. Using the Spring Bloom. Sacrificing a land to draw. We're digging. Digging for answers. Digging for hope. The puck on top. Just another big girl. And I think we are, unfortunately, pretty darn dead. I'll swing in with my frog. Time for the terror. Or just another hasty guy. Yep. Gory Bringer. They can bop the Grazer. Does Brawl have commander damage? It doesn't. And we take it! The dragons win! GG, Tiamat. Vannifar Evolved Enigma can cloak things from your hand, buff your colorless creatures, or, you know, be a really cool way for you to cheat certain cards like giant scary creatures into play. Vannifar typically wants to ramp, cloak, and then flip. And the faster they can do that, the faster they'll be winning, because on turn 4, yeah, they can pretty much get any permanent into play. Let's spelunk. Blue to Delta. It doesn't really matter which land I get off this. I'll grab one of the duels that would otherwise come in tapped. Make it look like I have something. I don't. But imagine if I did. Do I want another land? Yeah, I do, because that will be a 6 land for Scoot Swarm. I guess I could also put it in the graveyard for the Ramunap. But this way I can order Scoot Swarm, then land, then Ramunap. Under the Skin, ooh, making use of some of the new Manifest Dread cards. You don't need Vannifar to get the cards into play between Cloak, Manifest Dread, and everything else. There's a lot of new ways to cheat things in. One bug. Enter tapped. It actually enters untapped. Thank you, Spelunking. And then the Excavator, so we can run them up. Or Ramunap. I can start fetching. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Something that either can't flip or don't want to flip. All you need is 1 blue mana for the cheapest potential blink. There's also a couple cards that just let you turn cards face up, like Hauntwood Shrieker. One, 2, 3. I'm gonna go for a frog here. Scootin'. Booley booley. I guess I'll do it one more time. Frog draws me a land. And we're bugging. Boot scoot boogie. And I pass the turn. Let's see, did I get blue and then flip it up? One blue mana. No flip though. Okay. I'm planning on updating my own Vannifar deck once the alchemy cards come out, because there's like 5 new Manifest Dread cards that I think will be really fun with her. Oh, I'm always Scooty Patootin'. Uh-oh, that's River's Rebuke mana. Oh, Time Twist. Okay, they're blinking. What is it? Vorinclex Voice of Hunger. Alright, so I'm going to put on full control mode at the end when that's coming back. Since this is a delayed blink, they won't get it back right away. And I can use Baleful Mastery on it, tapping the mana before it comes back, like in response to it, and then exiling it. And we're good. GG, Vannifar. They didn't even know that's what I had. I think they were just like thinking that it would come back right away. It depends on the blink spell. Oyaminartok, Polar Werebear. This is the bear who likes to go fishing, turning your food into mana so you can cast it on some fish. And she gets you the fish, too. I've got turn 1 ramp. We love that. Arboreal Grazer into... Guess I'll just Bajuka Bog. I don't expect them to have too much graveyardy stuff. And this way I'm getting my tapped lands out of the way now. We high-fiving. There's a high five. Being asked what notes do I take when I'm recording. So I'm recording for Brawl Stars right now, and typically I'm writing down who I played against. So like usually it's just shorthand for their commander, like Oyaminartok. I might not write out Oyaminartok, Polar Werebear. I write down if I thought the game was good or not, and then I try to order where I'll put them in my video, just to make editing easier. And to answer your question, the Zimone precon nor any of the other precon commanders are coming to Arena. Sorry, it's just not happening. Citizen Nissa, yeah, she's taking up business. Listrodon, thank you for the sub. Grabbing basics without having to pay life. The frog countered. Okay. Actually, could have maybe left it in the graveyard. Hi, Oyaminartok. That's another real big fish. So fun. Unrealm Lich can become indestructible for 4 life, but it also lets me turn card draw into self-mill to fuel the frog. Hello, yes. This is Lich. Which Lich? This Lich. A horrific assault. I'll pay the 4 life just to keep it in play. I'll swing in. I'm gonna chump block Oyaminartok. That'll take out her hexproof. Take a casualties of war, thanks. Oh, actually what I was planning on playing this turn, though. I want Nissa. Is this being countered? You can return a spell or non-land permanent to hand. I can't cast another spell this turn. I'm going to try to blot out that great shark. Please, stop hitting my lich! I'll block and make it indestructible, going down to 10 life after this Throne Guard hits. Springbloom Druid. Nissa. Their hand's starting to finally run low on things. Stopping the Oyaminartok from hitting has been very big, though. What did we get? Ooh, Ancient Green Warden! So this is going to double my landfall abilities, and also it's gonna let me replay things from the graveyard in case they get rid of Conduit of Worlds. It's insurance. I don't even think I can use all this mana. Oh, also it has reach. Yeah, reach! GG, Oyaminartok. Alquist Proft, Master, Sleuth, and pain in my butt. Alquist Proft is unfortunately just Azorius control, using Alquist to get around some trickier matchmaking so they can, well, you know, not match like if they were playing Teferi as their commander. Hello, one tortoise. This is gonna get miscast. Let's find out. It's not a good sign that they shocked that in. It was a swan song. Alright, play this auto-sacrificing land, grab myself a basic. And green. Alquist Proft is like a good way to be drawing cards, gaining some life just off your commander. But it is also, unfortunately, it's going to be board wipe and it's going to be nasty. Tireless Provisioner, not turned into a bird. We'll consider that a good thing. But permanently exiled. Swords to Plowshares. Astro Smasher, thank you for the 10-month resub. Alquist Proft coming down. Getting the clue. And I'll swing in for 2. The scoots will soon be swarming. Sorted and plowshared. It got plowed, alright. Alquist Proft swinging in, no blocks, I'll just take it. And a Narset to prevent me from drawing additional cards. So this Narset means my commander just makes me sacrifice lands. My commander can no longer do anything. Maybe once on their turn, but since we use it on our turn too, yeah, that's not great. Frogchamp. See if they have another 1-mana counter spell. The bugs are now cloning. Which means that it's okay for me to sacrifice a bug to take out Narset. I also want to take her out quickly because there's a bunch of like symmetrical draw effects that you could put in. Usually it's just commit to memory. But it's enough for me to want to commit to killing it! They probably have a board wipe that they're going to fire off here. Let's find out! I don't know what that is. 9? Non-tuple? We super block Alquist Proft. He dies. Why is he in the graveyard still? Put him back. Put him back! Why is he still in the graveyard? If they use Settle, that would be great for me. I'd have every scoot in the world. Every scoot that's ever swarmed. Oh, it's because they're digging. Through time. So they put them in the graveyard so they could use it to fuel dig through time. They've digged, they've dug. And I can play Gitrog here, but like... it's kind of board wipe or bust for them no matter what. So I don't think we want to play Gitrog monster. The frog remains in the command zone. We hold. There is a 6 mana instant speed board wipe. There's also a 4 mana one. Settle the wreckage. Yep, there it is. Final showdown. Kaboom. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could just, like, make a random 8 drop. I'll play the frog for now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, do it! Cast those spells in a turn! Let my lizard kick your ass! I love my lizards. I love my randomly generated lizards. You have another board wipe? Board Wipe 2, the sequel to Board Wipe? You like RNG lizards? Me too! Okay, the frog returns to hand. Board Wipe tonight? One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm short of doing something real fun. Girls love swarms of lizards. No. I'm choosing to tap the Hive of the Eye Tyrant here. I'm also girls who like swarms of lizards. I'm gonna Bajuka their bog. Cool. And pass. If I had one more land, I probably would have gone for, like, reanimate instead. So I could, like, reanimate the tortoise and have Pawk out to double whatever the land it is. It's getting... Yeah, I'm just getting rid of some miserable cards like this! And that! And you. I'm sorry, which enchanter? This one? Okay, sure. The run-em-ups! Oh boy! Starting with Pawk. It comes in untapped. The second one does. Okay. They're choosing to take less damage, which makes me think they have another board wipe in hand. Oh, hey, Teferi. He draws a card. They can untap 2 lands. But whatever they got, it does not stop the Pawk. And the turtle. And this lady. Oh, and the giant eyeball. All of them. GG, Proft. Captain Eberhart taxes the first card you draw on a turn, or just makes it so they're a little pointier. Hi there. Makes their stuff cost less, too. I wanted to make sure I had something on turn 1 or 2. These are some good turn 2s. And I'll grab Surveil Land. Love to start the game with extra information. It's a land! I love lands. It's like I'm playing a lands deck. Flowering of the White Tree will make their stuff bigger and better protected. I might end up hitting that with the Tear Asunder later. Anointed Peacekeeper. Who do you make cost more mana? It's probably going to be one of these 3 since... I don't know, everything else I can kind of use right away. But, like, making Emrakul cost 2 more... If I have Emrakul mana, I already have Emrakul mana. Like the Muscle Priest? What's up? I got 2 big sticks and beefy arms. Damn Skippy you do. Okay, so they're, I think, wanting to stop me from using the Flowering? That's okay. I have a great double spell this turn. Or I use some ramp to get some ramp. Play the lady that gets me lands. Pass the turn. He prays for your soul after beating it out of you. Oh, that's so sweet of him. Oh, beefy Eberhart. He does have double strike. Yeah, he's a war cleric. Oh, yeah, mono white aggro. Land on top, land on top, land on top. Yes. Green. Oh, another one. Blot out. Can't cast it. Still cool. Also, if I see a creature on top, I won't be able to play it until I have 3 different powers, which currently I have 2, 2, and 6, so that's just 2 different ones. Wow, so many indestructible effects. Oh, and Adeline! Hi, Adeline. So I'll block there, and... there. I'll take that damage. Taking less damage. Oh, they made this legendary, which kills her. That's cute. I have lands in hand, though, so I don't feel too bad. Speaking of lands, you know what I can do with those lands? So much. Blot out has been drawn. Reliquary Tower. Cool. Mana. More mana. Boop. What would Blot Out currently hit? Peacekeeper or Adeline, so they would sacrifice the Peacekeeper. Have you seen the Gitrog from the Imaginary Friends Circular? Yeah, that's the one I use when I'm playing Paper Magic. Gitrog was one of the earlier commanders I had brewed in Paper. It was a Lord Windgrace deck that I turned into a Gitrog deck, but it switches back and forth. Because I was mostly playing with just modified precons before then. That's a big flying woman. Am I dead? That's 9 damage I can't stop. Ten, 11. And now one less. Bink. Bonk. I lived. Do I have Emrakul next turn? Because it might be able to mess up, like, their turn. I love doing a Spring Heart Nantico with the Lotus Cobra. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not enough. We decline. Corrupt Decay. In response to you casting the Ranger Captain of Eos, begone, Peacekeeper! No peace shall be kept here. But maybe pizza. I'll trade with your legendary human token. Pizza does sound really good. Thank you for the life gain? I guess it makes it a lot less likely that I'll be able to go infinite this next turn. They have like flying damage though that kill me, right? Creature, land. Creature, land. It's enough removal to take them out. Stabilize just enough. GG. Omnath, Locus of All. This is the Omnath that casts 5 colors of spells and cares about how many pips they have. The more colored pips they have, 3 or more, the more mana it can get you, and it can also put more cards into hand. It's also card advantage and lets you bank your mana as black mana. It's kind of cool. Yeah, if you happen to reveal the extra card that's getting you each turn that has 3 or more colored mana symbols, sweet. You get 3 mana. It's more mana, more fun. His hand has Aftermath Analyst, Flare of Cultivation. And hopefully we can fill up our graveyard, bring stuff out. And I'll start by putting a land in my graveyard right here, turn 1. Travail. Into the north. Now I'll take that instead. Boop. Tireless Provisioner will be giving them some landfall and ramp. I don't think I've actually played Head Shredder yet. This is one of the new cards I just added to this deck. I want to see it go. I want to self-mill, and I want to put those lands into play. This is like... This is a card that's for Gitrog. It's his card. I'm going to start with the Spelunking, though, because I want the lands to come in untapped. Aftermath Analyst. We'll see if it gets, like, countered or anything. They do have double blue up. Are we good? Okay, we're good. I have a lot more lands than them, because lands. I did mill a land, and we put it into play untapped. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Gonna use that to grab a land. I will saddle up. Crew up, right? Crew. I keep thinking of mounts, because I've been playing a bunch of mount decks. Attack for 5? Attack for 5? Attack for 5. Attack for 5? Oh, jail. Well, I got to use it briefly. I could, I guess, sacrifice the Aftermath Analyst to get a land. I don't really wanna. 2 lands, 1 in hand, 1 into play. I wanted the cool lawnmower. Ha! They didn't get a land. Ha! I could bring it back! No, wait, don't leave! I was gonna shred hedges. Ah, dang it. Rowan, Scion of War. The more damage you can deal to yourself, the cheaper your spells get. This is one of those cards that, if you let her live for a turn, you might just lose the next turn. Because Rowan gets crazy. And there's so many ways to lose life, especially now that they've added all of the fetch lands. That's right, one of the biggest things you can do with our good friend Rowan is bring your life down low, 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 maybe a black market connections too, and then you cast a big ol' X-cost spell, or just a big spell. Lots of little bits of mana. I have a Rowan deck. I haven't played it that much because a lot of people would just, like, leave if they couldn't kill her right away, because that makes sense. She's really scary. She also is a 4/2 with mana, so she can just, like, attack you. Cool. I'm ready, though. I'm ready to use the Head Shredder, baby! Let's go! Second time I've seen it since I put it in a deck. The first time was the game right before this. Please don't destroy it. No Abrade. No Kolgan's commands. No nothing. Yeah! Pay in life. They also might be setting up for some hasty things, too. So, like, maybe a pair of boots or, trying to remember the name of the enchantment. Oh, yeah, you can sure pay a lot of life with that thing. Yeah. Gitrog monster. We put the frog in the lawnmower. And we attack. No, please, 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 please. No! Aww. Ma'am. Wow. Paying the life on a turn that can't even use it. Sure. Elf. If I had one more land, we could be conniving, too. I don't think I've dealt any damage to them. I haven't, right? No, I think they did this to themselves. Pay 1 life to destroy it in response. They could have. By the way, I found out something about Staff of Completion because somebody I was just like chatting with, I think it might have been Rachel Weeks. We were talking about like crime decks, and she's like, yeah, Staff of Completion. You know, if somebody steals your permanent, you can destroy it with Staff of Completion. I'm like, yeah, in response to them targeting it. She's like, no, it's just destroy target permanent you own. I didn't know that. Nobody tells you these things. Ooh, a bear? A Green Warden. Glimmer. This card is so sweet. And we sit here. If only reading the card would explain the card. I read the card, I just didn't pay attention. Because I'm usually using it to proliferate planeswalkers. Or like Arwen. That's 4 life lost so far this turn. Come on, those are rookie numbers! You got so much more life to give. At least tap your Mount Doom first. At least tap the Mount Doom first. You're probably gonna have to tap it anyway. Oh, hey. Hey, Davriel. Terms and conditions do apply. Let's see what terms and conditions they get. Trade offer. I receive. Rowan is smaller. They receive all their spells permanently forever cost black less mana. Combine that with the fact that Rowan is making everything else cost 4 less mana. Means that they just cast a Bolus's Citadel for 2 mana? Just like 2 black, I think? Yeah. Black market connections, they're down to 4. I don't think you had enough life to give. But I applaud your bravery. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. I hope you enjoyed this revisitation of the Gitrog monster. And of course, just in time for Halloween, because he is a frog horror after all. He's a big scary frog, and he loves when you have a lawnmower. I didn't get to do that much with it, but I'm really happy I got to put it into the deck. One day, I'm gonna go off with the Head Shredder. I'm gonna mill myself like 6 times in one turn, and then I'm going to get all those lands into play. Maybe even with a Splunking out so they come in untapped. That's the dream right there. If you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description of the video. And if you'd like to suggest a commander for me to revisit, or just a new one for me to brew, please let me know in the comments. Be like, hey Amy, you know, it's been a couple months since you've done some crime with Nicol Bolas, and I'll say yes. Yes, it has. And it's always prime time for crime time when it comes to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.